The news came out about 3-4 days ago that former Alabama wide receiver Traeshon Holden has been dismissed from the Oregon football team after being arrested. So not only was he arrested, he was kicked off of the team. But, and as y'all know, I normally have a big but on situations like this. Here's where things get really, and I mean really interesting. Well, what do you know? Your boy Matt hits the nail on the head once again, and I wish I could sit up here and say I'm a genius and this and that, but I don't think I am. I think it's common sense. Now, for those of you that have no idea what I'm talking about whatsoever, a former Alabama wide receiver, Traeshon Holden, who was really good at Alabama, he got arrested and kicked off of Oregon. If you keep up with college football, you should know who this guy is. He left Alabama, goes to Oregon, everybody hyped it up, and yeah, well, he's no longer on the team. I can't help but laugh about this because it seems like, oh, wait a minute. No. It doesn't seem like we have seen this story before. And I'm just going to use some of the recent examples. Remember last year when the highly touted five-star wide receiver Agiye Hall left Alabama and we talked all about it? Yeah, where's he at? As soon as he leaves Alabama, goes to Texas and gets in more trouble. And the reason I find this so funny is I couldn't have been any more right. I told you guys when all these Bama wide receivers were leaving, hey, maybe it's not a bad thing they're leaving because we're getting the bad ones out. I tried telling everybody, and I think a lot of you listened to me when I said, hey, all these guys leaving, I don't think it's a bad thing. A majority of guys that leave Alabama, they're leaving because they're not playing. But I said it was weird that Traeshon Holden's leaving because he was a starter. You know what I think it was? Traeshon Holden wanted to go to a new school where he could be this top hotshot guy and get away with anything. And well, as you see, that is not the case. It's unfortunate. It really is. We're going to talk all about that. And also, we got a couple other minor topics to go over. You already know how it goes. If you like college football content and you're not subscribed, consider joining our amazing community. All right, Matt, blah, blah, shut up, grab up. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. I'm only going to talk about this for 30 or 40 seconds. Somebody tagged it to me, and pretty much I don't know how true this is. I really don't because I haven't looked into it because I don't care. But apparently the Big 12 is in talks with Fresno State. I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh, but yeah, the Big 12's heading in the wrong direction, at least in my humble opinion. I mean this in the most respectful way possible. Fresno State? Really? Like I said, I have no idea if that's true or not. Just thought I'd bring it up or whatnot. Let's move on to our second topic, and then we're getting into the juicy stuff. So we've talked about the SEC, how they may go to the pod system, may go, or not go, but stay with divisions. But here's a scenario that most people think is going to happen. Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, has also brought this up. And this is the 3-6-6 format where there's no divisions, but you got 3 permanent rivals and 6 rotating teams. I want to show you this graphic though because this would be your hypothetical 3 rivals for every single team. I'm going to say this yet again. This is hypothetical, none of this is permanent, but most people think it's going to look something along these lines. Starting it out for Alabama, I think most people, as an Alabama fan myself, I would agree with this. Rival 1, Tennessee, 2, Auburn, 3, LSU. When you think of Alabama football and their 3 biggest rivals in the SEC, that's them. I know it seems like in the past couple of years, Alabama and Georgia, they're starting to get that rival matchup feel, but that's just because they're always 2 of the top 2 teams. Going down here, this catches my eye because I'm not too sure about it. So with Georgia, obviously Florida and Auburn, but I didn't know Georgia and South Carolina, it's a rival game whatsoever. And obviously with having 3 rivals, you're going to have some teams where, yeah, they really only got 1 or 2 rivals. I just found that one interesting for Georgia. But everything else, as you continue to look down the list here, it makes sense. I've seen a ton of your comments. You guys, not only do you like this format, but you think the SEC is going to head in this direction, which I do agree with. The thing with Greg Sankey is you never know what he's going to do. He changes his mind every 2 months. You could see something like this, and a reason I like this, and we're going to get a move on, is because I like the rotating 6 teams because I'm tired of Alabama only playing Georgia once every 5 years. I can't speak for you, but I can speak for myself. I'd much rather see Alabama and Georgia play once every 2 years outside of once every 5 or 6 years, whatever it is. That's how I feel about it. Let me know your thoughts down below. But now finally, moving on to the main topic, the main encore, the main reason you clicked onto this video. We gotta talk about what good old Traeshon Holden has gotten himself into. Before I say anything, I want to say this to Mr. Traeshon Holden. I'm still wishing you the best of luck. I'm not one of these Alabama fans where I'm laughing at your downfall when you leave our team. No, I want to see you do good. So hopefully this is just a bump in the road. Me personally, I'm not giving up on Traeshon Holden just quite yet. And the reason I've waited so long to talk about this, I've seen it where you guys sent it to me, is because I want to see how the situation was going to play out, and you'll see why I did that in just a second. The news came out about 3-4 days ago that former Alabama wide receiver Traeshon Holden has been dismissed from the Oregon football team after being arrested. So not only was he arrested, he was kicked off of the team. And just like this comment right here says, that's why I never get upset about dudes that transfer. There's always a reason why it didn't work out, and I agree 100%. You're probably sitting there going, well, Matt, what did this guy do? And allegedly, I'm going to say this again, allegedly, he pulled a weapon out on another person. Which obviously, you can't do that. And Oregon's head coach, I'm drawing a blank, what's his name? Dan Lanning. Yeah, Dan Lanning. He was like, all right, we don't got time for BS around here. You're off the team. But, and as y'all know, I normally have a big but on situations like this. Here's where things get really, and I mean really interesting. This is why I normally wait a couple days to talk on situations like this, because I want to gather all the information and details. I don't want to be the first to report on the news, I want to be the best to report on the news. After the DA's office reviewed the body camera footage and video surveillance and interviewing an additional witness, they said they will not file charges against Traeshon Holden. In other terms, to put a long story short, Traeshon Holden was found innocent. It doesn't just stop there, things get a little more dicey. Just because they're not going to file charges, it still doesn't mean you didn't break team rules. You see what I'm saying? So although they're not pressing charges, although he's innocent, he still at the same time could have broken the team rules. So that is where, as fans and viewers, we're in the dark here, we're in the gray. Because now I see a lot of Oregon fans where they're saying, well dang, Dan Lanning, he messed up, he shouldn't have kicked him off that early, he needs to reinstate him. Which I understand where you're coming from, but you gotta remember, he still, when I say he, I'm talking about Traeshon Holden, he still could have broken team rules. But let's just say, for example, Dan Lanning, he's in the wrong and he jumped the gun too early. Dan Lanning's in the wrong, he messed up, he shouldn't have kicked him off without gathering all the information. Well, this is why I like how Nick Saban does things. Because you guys know this, Nick Saban, he doesn't jump the gun too early. He likes to wait it out and hear it out. And a lot of times people say, well, dang, why does Nick Saban do this? He should have been kicked the player off, and it's for reasons just like this. Where it stands, as of today, at this moment when I'm speaking, he hasn't been reinstated, and it doesn't like he will be reinstated. Maybe he will be, I don't know. I went to his Twitter, and he tweeted about it and said, thankful that the truth is out, and his profile picture is still him, a picture in an Oregon uniform. Which I don't really think that holds any value whatsoever. It's just a profile pic. It's a very interesting situation to say the least, because me myself, if my coach kicks me off the team without gathering all the information and details, tells me to hit the road, and they found out I'm innocent and he's like, hey, I messed up, we want to bring you back. No, I have too much pride. I say, no, you kick me off, I'm gone. You wanted me gone? I'll stay gone. I'll go somewhere else. That's just me, though. Am I going to sit up here and try to label Traeshon Holden as some bad kid, some bad dude, his career in life is over? No, I'm not, because I don't believe it. I think he's going to be A-okay. Now, if this happens again, it's a different conversation. You know what? Hold on. Before we end out this video, let's check out his Instagram. Let's see what he got on there. Okay, I got it pulled up right here. I haven't seen this. In his bio, he's got DBA, don't know what that means, and Kiss Me Florida and Playmaker. And he's got a couple pictures, but also, as you can see right here, he has deactivated, also turned off his comment section. He has done this for obvious reasons, because he doesn't want to see all the hate comments after him getting arrested. But he still has his Oregon pictures up. And most times when we see players get kicked off of teams or they leave a team, they delete them. So I don't know if this is the end-all be-all for him at Oregon, but at the same time, now that I think about it, okay, like I said, if I say, hey, you kick me off, I'm not coming back. Well, if I'm in this situation, and let me know in the comment section, where would I or where would you go? Because he was in a good situation. I thought he was going to thrive at Oregon with Bo Nix coming back, and as a wide receiver, you want to play for a good quarterback. The only school I can think of that makes a ton of sense is maybe USC. I'm not too sure what's next for this guy. However, I will say I'm wishing the best of luck. Let me know in the comment section what you think is going to happen to him, and yeah, that's going to wrap up this video. All right, run with me!